you do is you got eyes. What do I got? Oh, yeah, these are knuckle scars. No, I ain't been fighting people. I've been playing a vicious game of hopscotch. I got an injury. I got shin splints. Got all wrapped up. And I'm going all the way to Space Mountain because that's the only place for me and you, baby. Oh, we're going to take a spaceship. Oh, fuck Elon Musk. We spooned right past him. We're on Mars. We're on Pluto. We're in Uranus. That's right. I'm home. That is home. Woo! No nipples better come through that goddamn door. We're back. Helltown Radio. Introduce yourself.
That was good.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lita. I'm here, and I do the show sometimes, and I also do art stuff, and I'll talk about that at the end of the show. But yay, I'm back.
She's back.
Yes.
You can't hold that down.
Nope.
No, ain't nobody gonna hold that down. Mace, Puff Daddy, Lita, none of them being held down. Yo, it's your boy Chris K up on this MIC for the Tuesday night fiesta we call Helltown Radio. We got my homegirl, my main boss lady, my professional boss lady, I should say. My main boss lady's at home. The very well accomplished, the multifaceted, talented. I don't know what else. I'm trying to think of other good adjectives that I can brown nose you with here.
Did you hear that, Mom and Dad? I'm accomplished.
She's accomplished. You are accomplished. You're very accomplished, man. Shenan is. We'll get into all of her accomplishments in a few, but just also an all-around cool chick who has a spot on Main Street. If you've never heard of it, it's called the Catamount Lounge. We've never spoken about it ever before on this show. We probably won't ever again. But
I thought we weren't gonna leak the Catamount Lounge tonight.
No, the Catamount Lounge is. Well, there's a major announcement coming, but yeah. So we're lucky. We're celebrating Women's Month, Women's History. What's the official title?
Women's History Month.
Women's History Month.
Mm-hmm.
Women's History Month. And it's a good thing because we have two women on the show, which is great. George and I can tuck it for the rest of the show to make it more official.
Hey, Ma, I'm non-binary. Don't you box me in.
That's cool. I mean, I identify as a cyborg, an alien cyborg.
I don't think I could identify as anything else. I look like a shaved fucking ape. Nobody. They'd have to file a lot of bone down in my face like, to get me looking feminine.
Man, you know what? I mean, I don't think you look like an ape. That's
I
terrible.
can make you look pretty, George.
I don't hang out with ugly people, man. Like,
You make me pretty. I'm going to the Pink Pony Club.
Now, I would say it would be fun if we ever did a show where we did ourselves up in a in Planet of the Apes makeup, like where we came out as our.
I'm gonna be Charlton Heston just cause
our simian.
I think it sends a bad message.
Yeah. Oh man, it was Planet of the Apes. What a great movie series. Such craziness.
You wouldn't did it.
Yeah, they did that shit. Yeah, man. It was so without further ado and a don't. What's up? What's up, Shouty? What's popping over there?
Oh, not much.
That's a mid 2000s. That's a mid 2000s swagger.
What is my jacket?
Your jacket? No, my lingo, silly.
Oh, well, you're looking at me. I was like, I guess it's kind of mid 2000s.
Now, guys, if you don't know this about Shenan, she gets a little bit self-conscious from time to time. Like she doesn't realize sometimes I'm just really baked, and then she'll be like, why are you looking at me funny? Like, is there something wrong? And then
this
she'll
must be a running trend with women because I'll get that like 5 times a goddamn like. What's up? What are you looking at?
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Because I'm stoned and looking off in the distance. Look at, I'm barely focusing.
No, I think. Well, I guess it would be more like late 90s. This is a little known fact about Shenan and I. Shenan and I went to school on the same block in the mid 90s, except for I was in high school across the street from her elementary school. So that's kind of a weird thing to think that one day my employer would be the one that's swinging from the monkey bars across the way from us.
There were a few years of overlap. Like how? Let's see. When were you born?
When was I born? I was born in the year of our Lord, 1980.
80. Okay, so there's 7 years between us. So when you were a freshman in high school, presumably. Okay, yeah. Actually, all of your high school years, I was in the elementary school across the street. Yep. In fact.
Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. Actually, we've had several instances where we've lived in the same area.
Like I was there at the bar you got kicked out of on St. Patrick's Day, like in 2009 or something, and you told that story, and I was like, oh, I was at that bar on St. Patrick's Day in 2009.
What happened, Chris? I haven't heard this story.
I remember seeing this leprechaun.
No, I don't remember him, but I was definitely at that bar St. Patrick's Day that year.
This was back in my more like wily days, if you could imagine, and I had it's so truth be told, my Napoleonic complex sometimes gets the better of me. And so I was out with a couple of my friends who are very large gentlemen, and they're in the, they're both like this big built like brick shit houses, and just we went to Rira on St. Patrick's Day, which is Rira was an Irish pub in Arlington, Clarendon, and I don't know exactly what led up to it, but the bouncer was like, "All right, you got to go," and yanked me up by my shirt, and I was taking a shot at the time. So I finished the shot, and then I punted the shot glass at him. Yeah, man. It was I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was trying to accomplish with that. I don't think you get any extra points. But, yeah, dude, it was wild. One of the you know what? Yeah.
This was probably played.
You know what? Yes, it's absolutely. You know what? That's the thing. It's a long and heralded tradition amongst white dudes that during the day of St. Patrick's Day, when House of Pain comes on, it's like the Purge. All laws are off. If they play Shipping Up to Boston back to back with that shit, there's a good chance there's gonna be a fucking riot, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I was at some bar on what is that Apple Blossom Festival that they have in Winchester, and
Piccadilly's.
Oh, it was Piccadilly's. You're in fact right, and I didn't know this until this point. There's several moments in my life where I've been like, I find out, I don't want to say new white shit, but new pop culture shit that I did not know about. And it was that all white people will get up and run to the dance floor if they start to hear the beginning of a Journey song called Don't Stop Believing. Mm-hmm. I felt the fucking floor flex. And I was sitting down, and this black dude with dreads was sitting down. And I looked over at him, and he looked at me like, "What the fuck's going on?"
He went into the crash position.
Like, what? Oh shit! It's like if fucking September comes on at like a family gathering. But and Neil Diamond, that what's that? Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
I was on a cruise ship for the first time, and they start playing it, and then all of a sudden it gets to that point where everybody starts yelling. And I didn't expect it. It scared the living shit out of me. I was like, yo, did the elevator fall in here? What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Actually, there was a, what was the bar in Clarendon? Not the Clarendon Ballroom. What was the other Clarendon one? Clarendon Grill? Clarendon Grill. Oh. Clarendon Grill, the DJ there on Friday, Saturday nights, he ended the night, every night. His last song he played was the Don't Stop Believin' song. So I always had a joke that was the mating call of douchey white folks in Arlington. Yeah, dude, that's a Journey. What a great band.
They make the floor flex.
Dude, I seen a fight almost break out over Journey.
What were they like? What song is the best?
This is a good story. This is a Pavement story. This is a Rachel, if you're watching, you'll appreciate this one. So there was a gentleman. You remember the White House Crashers?
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah,
that dude lives around here, and he hangs out. He used to hang out around here a lot. Well, if you don't know,
wish I'd have seen him.
His wife left him for the guitarist of Journey.
Yeah, Neil Sean.
Neil, yeah, and so actually Jonah's father-in-law, being Jonah's father-in-law, Lehigh, shout out to my man Lehigh Davis. He being the joker he is, saw him come into Pavement, got on the jukebox and put on about 20 Journey songs in a row. So the first one plays, and you can see Homeboy's visibly upset. The second one plays, and dude's just like, motherfucker. The third one plays, and it was lights out. He had a full-blown meltdown. He was like, who the fuck played this? Fuck everybody in this bar. Fuck you. Somehow Rachel got villainized. It was great. I mean, not great for her, but it was uncomfortable hilariousness.
Oh my God.
And I'm trying to remember who it was this week. I saw so much uncomfortable hilariousness this week. So 2 episodes of uncomfortable hilariousness was one, and who was I with? But we went into El McGay's for lunch, and we walked in, and the music was on pretty low for what it usually is, and like all the fucking staff is very like eyes to the floor, quiet. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And I peek around the corner, and there's a table of gentlemen all sitting there. Some of them brown, some of them white, but they are all wearing Border Patrol and ICE. Yo, it was like the most. Like, I don't know if it was supposed to be like some sort of weird flex oversight. I don't know what the fuck it was.
What a butt. Dude.
And so I stuck my head around. I saw it. I go, oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. I made eye contact with two of them.
They weren't real ICE agents. They were just like people in T-shirts, or were they?
No. They were real agents
okay.
in their uniforms with their guns on and shit, and eating guacamole and motherfucking
With
queso. I'm sure. I mean, yeah, probably.
Oh yeah,
probably. I mean, so that was a point of uncomfortable hilariousness. The other one, and Phil was there with me when this happened, and we were outside. This is a good story because it's mildly racist in a humoristic way, very positive. So there's a gentleman that started coming to the Catamount with regularity. Like, comes like once or twice a week. Nice guy, looks very business professional. Wears fleece vests and like button collared shirts and shit. Has nice wire rimmed glasses, but smokes hella weed. And he happens to be from Sri Lanka, and so he talks like this, and. So he's outside, and I've seen this happen twice to him. He's had 2 interesting episodes of uncomfortable hilariousness. And it was, so we're outside, and it's me and a couple people, and the young woman is there. She's a very pretentious young lady. And Gavin, and so we're all talking, and she's like speaking to him, and her voice has changed, and she's speaking very slow and weird and loud. And me and Phil are kind of like giving each other eye, like, what the fuck's going on? Like, did she grow another chromosome, or like, what's fucking like, And homeboy Gavin, and this is like on a very like turntable thing, is like, where's your accent from? Yeah, right. You got to do the accent to make this funny, all right? Because like when the guy with the accent like this is asking what your accent is like, it's kind of that's like
your voice is fucked up.
And she's like, oh. I know. I do this when I talk to non-English speaking people. And homeboy's like, he's like, I went to college here in 2000. I've been here since 2001.
Wow.
And it was just amazing. And this dude is but this is how cool this motherfucker is. He thinks it's funny. And so he's just like, oh my God, he's like another one of these like so progressive that like the classism thing has come full circle on being so progressive. And it was just very funny because she's very much like, she's like one of those people, like, remember that South Park episode where they would fart in the glass and smell it?
Yeah.
It was one of those things. And so with like 4 last names and shit. But so to like just another side story about this fine gentleman. I love Gavin, dude. Gavin, I'm gonna put you onto the show because you'll appreciate these stories. Gavin, the second one, this dude is sitting there minding his own business. I mean, he's not even he's not doing shit. He's not engaged with anybody. He's just sitting there. We had just smoked Jay, and he's like, and a young female who'd had a couple of Tito's with a wedge of lime came up, and that's an inside for all the insiders. And
yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I know you do, but I'm telling the studio audience.
Okay.
And so he's sitting there, and she's like, "Hey, I got a question for you." And I'm expecting it to be like, "Can I have a cigarette?" or like, whatever, high five, some shit. And she's like, "What religion do you practice?"
Oh my God.
And he had a great response. He was like, that is a hell of a first question.
Yeah.
That is one hell of a first question, is how he said it, all right? Just to make it, mildly racist funny. But I fucking love that guy, dude, because he's such a good sport about it. Because, like, some people would be like, probably buck on it. I would love to see K Squizzy in that,
he'd probably
capacity.
Yeah, dude. Like, I've seen this behavior before, and it was from a white woman. It was from my mother. Like when we would go to McDonald's, especially in like the early 90s, she would get somebody with an accent, and she would talk louder. And me and my brothers would get to the first window and be like, "Mom, why'd you talk so loud?" You were talking really loud to like, well, they don't speak English. But like, you think yelling at them's gonna make them understand you like better?
Well, see, here's my thing. My mother, English is her second language. So I'm used to having these. I understand. I get. The heart was in the right place. All right. The statement was just so amazingly like unaware of like how bad it sounded. So Phil and I behind her are standing behind her, and we're both like, "Oh my god, this is too funny." We're like, so I mean, I feel uncomfortable hilariousness is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
It's the kids call it the cringe, right?
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
the cringe.
Yeah.
I guess that's what
I just got 4 more Riz points.
Riz, yeah. Oh,
Riz
Skibbity,
points.
man, Skibbity on that dog. That's tight.
Now we're gonna be on the algorithm.
Oh,
We
that's
did it.
yeah, man. We're in there,
Can you put hashtags on a podcast?
Oh, I'm gonna put hashtag
Okay.
Riz.
man. But yeah, but Catamount Lounge is Catamount Lounge is so cool, and like I just gotta say that like I know you have many other accolades, but the only one I've been involved with and that I know, and we are gonna get to the other accolades, but I want to start at the top of them. We're gonna start at the top of them. We're gonna ski on down, and so the Catamount Lounge opened on December 7th, 2023. We are at 124 East Main Street. Shenan and I met because I used to own the restaurant, partner with the restaurant with Rachel Failmezger, and we had been in the spot before, and so I get a random text message from this thing like Catamount Lounge, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I get this message, and it's like this, hey, we're looking at getting the lease on the place. Do you have any insight on the space of use, if there's any quirks, blah 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 blah. So I'm just dealing with the cat. I don't know who it is.
It's our business Facebook account.
Yeah, it's a business Facebook account, and so there's no other pictures, just the logo. And I'm like getting back and forth, and I just assumed from the conversation that I was having it was like somebody that was working in the kitchen. And I looked kind of into it, and I knew that the person working in the kitchen was a dude, Chris Kemp, her partner, and so anyways, fast forward like a month later, and they're doing the pop up at Vault and Cellar.
No,
and
it was at Shannon's going away party.
was it Shannon's going away party? Wasn't your pop up?
It was even earlier than that.
It was even okay. Well, I did show up at the pop up still.
Yeah, but we already knew each other at that point.
At that point in time, yeah, we were already deep in the game.
Yeah.
And so we get there, and I see, I find, they're like, oh yeah, these are the people from Pancake Underground that are opening up the Catamount Lounge. And so I see Chris, and so I immediately start engaging with Chris because I just in my brain of brains thinking not because not because it
That
was,
misogyny tripping in.
I do not have a misogynistic bone in my body. We'll talk about that. I will fucking talk about that. I am such like listen, man. I'm all about a matriarchal society. All right, but first I want to finish this story though. I want a matriarchal society. I'm trying to be like one of the wolves in the coven. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to try to be like I will cook, clean, do the laundry, all that shit. I don't give a fuck. Mr. Mom was a very revolutionary movie for me. But anyways, so Shenan is like I can notice she's a little bit peeved, and she's
I
like,
wasn't. I didn't
you
even
have a
clock
terrible
it,
poker
but-
face. All right, whatever. See, there we go. See, she's getting peeved right now. But that's her.
Yeah,
Peeve,
now I am.
That's her peeve smile. That's the peeve smile.
I'll tell my version of the story after you're done.
Anyways, so I like right. So I look over, and I was like, and she's like, well, actually, and if you get to know Chris and Shenan, then you'll realize that yes, it would make a lot more sense. You're dealing with somebody that knows how to articulate words. No, I'm just kidding. But I find Chris is just very a few words sometimes. But but not when you get a microphone in front of him. But so Shenan was like, well, I'm the one you've been talking to. And I felt like, I was like, well, I felt sheepish immediately. Listen, one of my mentors and one of the biggest influences in my career as a chef was a woman. I'm the biggest mama's boy there ever was. I'm such a big fan of like strong women. Like again, to go to the point, matriarchal society all day. Guys, let's give it up. We can, trust me, the domestic lifestyle stuff is way cooler, more fun. They can have the wars and all that shit. All right, you guys do that. But so that was the first time we really interacted. But then fast forward a couple months, we went to the pop up. I stayed in touch, and then eventually, Shenan was kind enough to take on an inexperienced kid behind the bar.
No, how you got hired was you saw me pulling up in my car on the street, and you were at Honey and Hops, and you ran outside, and you were like, Shenan, you have to come inside and meet my wife and all my friends. And I was like, okay. And then, like everyone was really drunk. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm looking for bartenders because the Monument had just closed. And I was like, if you know of anybody who's looking for work, and you were like, yeah, me. And I was like, okay. And you're like, let's talk when I haven't had a couple. But I don't know, like a
Ooh, responsible me.
yeah. I guess I actually kind of thought you had like bartending experience. I think I misinterpreted what you were drunkenly saying. But you know.
I go to bars a lot.
But your accolades followed you, so.
Yeah, it translates, and I had good teaching. You know, this line cooking and bartending translates.
There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, and I've had great teaching, and I've had a great, you and Julieta have really guided me through into a budding mixologist, bartender, barkeep, whatever, drug dealer.
Everyone brings their unique strengths to the table, yourself included.
By the way, I just wanted to emphasize on that last statement I just made. One time, a ABC agent, when I was like, "Why are you all so goddamn strict?" and he was like, "You want to know the?" He's like, "You want to know what it is?" He boiled it down. He's like, "Boil it down for you. You are selling drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You are a drug dealer, and we are your supplier." And so we treat it like that. And I was like, God damn, that was the most gangster shit that like a person that works in law enforcement, or like I guess in like whatever government services. Yeah. He broke it down for me. He's like, "Yeah, you guys." He was like, "You're a drug dealer." I was like, "Wow,
not wrong."
And I was like, "That's fucking cool as shit." But yeah,
Slinging him.
Yeah, slinging them mothership. No more motherships.
No.
No more for you.
Not for me.
You know what? Our
No.
grapefruit.
We could make you a virgin mothership.
No, she
I
can't.
can't
Oh,
have
no grapefruit?
Yeah.
Yeah. We could just make you a different drink.
We'll do
I
it. We'll do the
guess.
mothership, but with orange
Life
juice.
is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's a totally different thing. But
We'll
I mean,
call it-
it'd be good.
I guess like tangerines, maybe. Orange.
Yeah, like what else?
Clementines.
It's kind of bitter, like grapefruit. I don't know.
A lemon.
A lemon. Yeah, just like a whole bunch of lemon juice and stuff.
Virgin
A lemon
chip.
drops.
Yeah.
So Shenan has so before like Cat and Mountain Lounge, and we've already talked about this in a couple of shows before, so we're just gonna graze over that. We're gonna do the recap, and then we're gonna move on to some other deep dive Shenan shit. You had the so you had Pennycake Underground. You came here from Oregon.
Came back here.
Came back here from Oregon. But before that, you had an entire life that was you had an entire other life where just to talk about some of Shenan's accolades. Shenan graduated from Yorktown High School in
2005.
2005. She was a young graduate as well. Did you graduate early? Didn't you?
No, I graduated from college early, not high school.
Okay, high school. Okay, graduated from JMU.
2008.
2008. Yeah, she did it in 3 years. She did in 3 years what I could not accomplish in 20. But then you went on to Johns Hopkins. You got your master's there.
Yep.
They gave you the MC of the Year award for a battle rap that you did. No,
That's true.
What was your?
I did get an award. They give so I went to Johns Hopkins for creative writing, which is not a degree I made any money off of, but it's a something that I kind of made like a little bit of a career out of, not like a money making career, but like a creative career for a while. So in my graduating class, like every year they give an outstanding graduate award to like one student in the program who graduated that year, and that was me, winter 2010.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't have that award anymore.
I use it,
but
to
I
burn.
talk about it all the time. No,
she rolled it up. She uses a paper in an emergency. All right, man. So that's really cool. You did some you did some cool work.
I worked for the Department of Defense.
Yeah,
for 6 years, and it was like I mean, do you want me to talk about it, or did I talk about it on the last show?
I don't think you really talked about it. We talked about it. We talked about Catamounts.
It was kind of random. I just kind of fell into it after college. Like I started as someone's personal assistant. And I worked in an organization called ADL, which was Advanced Distributed Learning, and it was part of the Office of the Secretary of Defense. And they did research, like education and cognitive, like psychological-based research on improving learning using technologies, like specifically for the military, because that's who sponsored all the research, but broadly applicable too. And I started out as someone's personal assistant, and like because it was all contract work, the way contracts sometimes go, they get canceled, and everybody was laid off but me in the research department. And then I was like 22 and had no experience, and they were like, Shannon's in charge of research now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I was for about 3 months. And I was just like, I mean, I knew a little bit about I knew what our mission was. I knew a little bit about research techniques at that point. Like I knew how to do a meta-analysis and a literature review and stuff. So I just kind of like posited a research question, which seemingly hadn't been answered before. And that was about using simulations and the fidelity of simulations to reality, like how realistic the simulation was and whether that actually translated into real world, like transfer of skills from the training to actual real world scenarios. So I worked on this research project for like 3 months, and I went into that office every day for 3 months and no one asked me what I was doing. Like I could have been doing anything. I could have been reading a book. And then I like wrote this 30-page paper with like the research results, and I presented it to my bosses, who presented it to the Secretary of Education. And they were like, "Oh yeah, this is great. This is awesome. Just next time, like let someone know what you're working on." And I was like, "Okay, sounds good." But then they eventually brought somebody in who was much more experienced than me and knew what they were doing. And he became my mentor. Shout out to Shane Gallagher. He's probably not watching, but he lives in New Mexico now. But then I did for like another 4 years cognitive research on using gameplay and video game, like specifically looking at game design and how it could improve cognitive adaptability and creative problem solving. So yeah, that was a whole other life I had.
Dude,
Isn't that wild?
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Was your office like super like one of those like high like you had to like scan in and shit?
No, it was really low security. Like I worked in Alexandria off Seminary Road, where there's like a bunch of Department of Defense like satellite buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And when do you guys remember the earthquake in like 2010 or something? I don't know what year it was, but like right. the walls started shaking and ceiling tiles started falling down, and like my coworkers and I went out into the hall and we like assumed terrorist attack because we're like, our building is completely unsecured, the building is like shaking and like the ceiling's falling down, and we were like we didn't know what was happening, but we assumed terrorist attack because that's we're like, yep, our building would be a really easy target. So we ran down the hallways in the dark and down 6 flights of stairs, and then we found out it was an earthquake.
Oh Lord.
Do you guys remember that earthquake?
Oh yeah,
man.
I was in a tall building.
I was an American hero that day. I saved my child from an earthquake. I grabbed her and ran. I grabbed her as soon as the house started shaking, and I ran with my child in my arms to the nearest door frame.
Is that I guess that's what you're supposed to do, right? Because it's the most structurally
I saved my child from an earthquake. I'm surprised you guys aren't more impressed.
No, I'm totally impressed over here.
Man.
Thank you.
I was sitting in an office, and I was in one of those like boingy chairs, and and so I was sitting in it, and all of a sudden I felt like it was like, whoa, and I thought somebody had come up behind me and was shaking the chair. I was like, what? So I turned around, I'm like, what the fuck? And there's nobody there. So at first I was like, oh shit, it was a ghost. And then I was like, yeah, I thought it was a fucking ghost, dude. I was
like people in the 1860s. Did you feel that ghost?
Yeah. I knew exactly.
Give me the
what
cocaine.
The moment it happened, my coworker like started screaming, and I was like, get under your desk. 'Cause we had these giant like metal desks. I'm like, just get under your desk and hold your head between your legs. And she's like, oh, we're gonna die. It only lasted like what, 90 seconds?
Yeah, it was like, it went on, but like.
I'm like, it's okay. It's gonna be all right. And then it was done.
I definitely had a white suburban moment after that. Everybody was on their porch, and everybody's like, did you feel that? Like, oh, God. I'm going back inside. I'm too high.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. There was an earthquake. Wasn't there one recently? Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was one kind of recent.
That's the only earthquake I can like say I ever felt.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, you know what? I was in San Francisco.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was the one. It was the earthquake, and it happened like I guess 10 or 11 years ago. And it was the one where all the wine got destroyed.
Oh shit!
And it was crazy. I was on a trip for the company I was working for to go to Napa Valley, and so I was there. And that was fucking hilarious because I was in my buddy Scotty's apartment, and we'd been out partying, and it was 3:00 in the morning, and we came back and we're just like eating shawarma or some shit, and fucking we're just being just belligerent idiots. And then all of a sudden he goes to the bathroom, and the fucking whole building starts shaking. So he comes running out of the bathroom. He's like, "Buttworthy, what'd you do, dude?" And I'm like, his initial response. That's how we used to get. That's my reputation. Is that a guy that lives in San Francisco is used to earthquakes. When an earthquake occurred and I was nearby, blamed me before the earthquake. So another reason why I didn't drink anymore. And but yeah, that was my other earthquake story. That was great. It was, but that was scary as fuck because we were being in a tall building is way different. Because the first one I was on the ground floor, so whatever.
Because it goes like
yeah,
you're like this.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
It's not like a vibration. Like a lot of people that were closer to the ground felt just like a rumbling, right? This is like you're fucking
shit turns
swaying.
rubber. Yeah, like your reality becomes rubber. Like things like you're like, how's that moving like that? That's not supposed to move like that. I don't think, especially if you're sober. I understand we ate some mushrooms or acid, like maybe, but yeah, man, that's wild, man. You had a pretty wild couple.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk about it.
Yeah, because strong.
I think it's kind of important too, because like for me, I didn't know it was happening. So I've been out sick a little bit. I had a heart attack. I know.
Sick.
So young, and so healthy. And it still happened. So I was going through a lot of stress at work, dealing with a relationship, dealing with, taking care of my dad. And I also got sick. I actually got coronavirus NL63. There's lots of them apparently. That was the one I had. It started off like I couldn't take a deep breath. That's what it felt like. Like I couldn't sigh. And it was kind of annoying at first. I was like, I just feel like I'm either out of breath or can't take a deep breath. And then I started coughing and I'm like, well, this must be COVID or something. So I tested and it was negative. And then I just dealt with it for like 2 or 3 days and it just felt like it was increasingly tight, couldn't breathe, and I was just coughing and coughing. And when I was laying down, it was worse. Like I could not take a breath without coughing. So finally, my husband's like, all right, we're going to the emergency room. So we go to Fair Oaks, Inova emergency room, and they did like a scan and everything. And they were like, the doctor comes in, he's like, you want to see something impressive? And I'm like, sure, why not? And like they did the scan and my entire like right lung was completely opaque white. It had been completely infiltrated with pneumonia. And then there was like a dark space behind my heart where there was water. And they said that I had a protein in my blood which indicated that I had a heart attack. And the space was just fluid accumulating over my heart, and that's why I couldn't breathe. That's why I couldn't take a deep breath. So from there, I had to ride an emergency unit to the heart transplant and cardiovascular. I think it's Schar's cardiovascular, and that institute there. Funny enough, my dad had just had a heart transplant at that same place, not like 7 months ago. So they do all the tests. They test me for everything under the sun, including HIV, which, hey, I don't have HIV, guys, so that's yay for me. Or
are you positive?
Hey! So I don't have the HIV. I don't have hepatitis or anything like that. I don't have any sort of amnio, like I don't have what's that other one? Lupus. They tested me for that too.
You ain't got the loop.
Nope. They finally decided they were going to do a echocardiogram. And they did that, and they were like, well, your heart's working at 25%, maybe less. And I'm like, that's weird. I don't feel like that, because at that point, they'd given me, like, antibiotics to clear out the pneumonia, and they'd given me diuretics to shed that water. So I could breathe, and I was fine. I was like, I'm ready to get the hell out of here. So they were like, no, we've got more testing to do. So they did an MRI and they did a catheter, which it's kind of cool because you're awake when that happens. And they just put like a camera in there and they fish it and they look around. They're like, well, you don't have plaque. Your cholesterol is perfect. You were healthy, but we don't know what happened. And then they tell me I have stage C heart failure. So what that means is that my left ventricle is not pumping correctly. It's pumping at 15% when it should be 50%. It's 50% on the right, 50% on the left. So at 15%, it's just not working like it should. So I'll get out of breath, like I am right now, sort of talking a little bit. But they're throwing medication at it, and they gave me a prognosis of 5 to 20 years until I'll need more advanced medical technology intervention. So they give you that wide range because every person's different and every person's health is in consideration of like how they're going to heal. My doctor seems to think that I'm going to be okay, and it could go beyond 20 years. My dad had the same exact thing. So he's getting genetic testing done. I'm going to get genetic testing done because I have children, and I want to make sure that they're going to be okay. And if there is something wrong, and if there is like a genetic abnormality, I would like for them to know so that they can be proactive on their health. That's important. But for me, like right now, I feel pretty good. I'm pretty hopeful. My doctor's hopeful that my heart will heal and do the things that it's supposed to do. He seems to think that the stress of work and dealing with a relationship and also getting sick at the same time just kind of put my heart into overdrive. And here I am now.
Well, we're so glad you're here now.
Yeah, I am very glad. Like he kept saying, if you just like waited to wait the sick out, I'm like, yeah, I don't think Adam would have. Like I was struggling to breathe at that point, so it was kind of scary at first because, especially when a doctor says 5 to 20, and I'm like, holy shit, what do you mean 5 to 20? It just means that in 5 years, I might need a pacemaker or an LVAD or a transplant, worst case scenario. Or it could be 20 years from now. I mean, it took my dad 20 years to get to that point, and he was not healthy at all. Like he smoked, he didn't eat healthy, he had diabetes on top of that. He was morbidly obese. Like he had a lot of stuff going against him. So I'm pretty confident that working with my doctors, I'm doing good. I will say that those medications though, they put me on my ass. So the other day I started a new one. I think it was a Spiridone or something like that. I started that on Friday, and I went to a metal show to kind of like support a friend that was doing a show there, and I was totally fine. Like me and Adam were sitting at the bar, we got iced teas and food, and I was fine. And they started like playing, and then I got really hot. I don't run hot. I'm usually cold. And like I go to Adam. Adam runs hot. It's like 45 degrees and he's like sweating. I'm like, dude, it's like really hot in here. He's like, I'm fine. Are you okay? And I'm like, I don't know. I just feel really hot. And then I get another tea. I drink it. Like I'm like pounding this tea, and I'm like, it's just getting hotter. And then I start feeling like the buzz, that telltale buzz on top of your head when you know you're about to pass out. And they're in the middle of a song, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm gonna pass out in front of everyone and have like the vibe totally ruined by my craziness. So I get up, I'm like, we need to like walk outside, I need some air. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, absolutely. And he looked at me because like he was facing the band and I was like on his shoulder. He's like, you look really white. I'm like, I know. Let's get out of here right now. So we walk out and I sit on the step, and he's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, it's time to go home. So I got to see the first band, 2 songs, but I learned a valuable lesson. If I'm going to start medication, start it at home.
Yeah.
Just in case something happens, if I'm not feeling right. And also, if you're going to take a diuretic, don't drink 3 giant ass like iced teas before, like, yeah, because that's definitely going to make you, yeah, a lot. And sweat profusely.
Gonna make you sweat. Bam, 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 bam,
I was dying, bro.
Then pee.
I was like, you're really white. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. But I'm fine. It was
fine.
just a fluke.
Fine.
Yeah.
So, anyways, pass me the.
Phil had sat right next to. I remember that. Like he sat right. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't feel so good." He's like, "Well, I hope you feel better." I'm like, "Yeah, me too."
Man.
Jesus. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Miss Z says, glad you're doing okay.
Yes, I am.
Zandra, what's up, girl? That's our Helltown girl. Helltown girl, did you get the song back on YouTube and Spotify? Because we were trying to that was our thing. Lauren and I, whenever we drive through Main Street, we like to pump Helltown girl.
Helltown girl.
Yeah. Still trying to get on the remix. Do that shit ODB fantasy style. We can do a video shoot on Main Street. Is my big romantic vision of that.
You gotta go to the city council and be like, I need the road shut down for me and Miss Z.
Man, fuck that. We just pull up. They know.
They know.
They know. They
Just
know not
do
to
it.
fuck around.
It took 42 takes because people kept honking and be like, get the fuck out the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of takes, yes, there's a big announcement we're gonna make to the world. World breaking news. World breaking news right now here on Helltown Radio in beautiful Front Royal, Virginia, the epicenter, the G spot of Warren County itself. Yeah, we're the G spot of Warren County. Yeah. Speaking of takes, your boy did a couple takes last night. Literally 2 takes. Wait, 3, I guess. Yeah. 2.
Two full takes, and then like we redid a couple pieces of it.
Well, I have not done any recording artist work in the capacity of music in many, many, many years, nor this serious, but I did my first country song yesterday as a backup vocalist for Shenan on a song that is about when you drink too much. And one of the verses happens to be about somebody that we know, and might have been me. So anyways, another reason why I don't drink anymore.
Yeah, well, it was about you, and it wasn't about you, but like we were
inspired
loosely
inspired
by-
by true events.
Is there a line in the song about somebody not being able to get a cab?
No. Can he not get a cab?
No, I guess when our next song, we'll have to work on that.
Oh, was that about Gary? Oh. Yeah, no, Gary's not in it. No, Julieta and Chris and I were just having a conversation after work one time about how some people, it's like they have an evil alter ego that comes out when they drink. And,
wow.
And they were like, oh, yeah, like that's each of us. Totally. We each have an evil alter ego that comes out when we drink. So I was like, oh, that sounds like a really good song to write. So I did. And then like there's a verse about each of their drink of choice in it. There's a verse about gin and a verse about rye. So I had both of them help me with the I've been working on the sly recording an album, which I'm almost done with. I'm like remastering it like 79 times because like I'm at the point where like everything sounds like slightly off to me now, and I don't know what I'm hearing anymore. But they helped me with that track because they inspired it, so I wanted them to be on it. So Chris did some backup vocals and Julieta did some percussion for me. It was a fun time. We closed the curtains at the Catamount, and I brought all my recording equipment, and we set it up, and yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah, it was
after
cool.
work last night.
It was super cool. Thank you so much for that bucket
Thank
list.
you.
I can say, that's something. If you'd put that on my bingo card from like, I look at my life now from like 3 years ago, and it's just like such a weird trajectory. But like you're gonna record a country song with a friend, with your boss in the back of where the restaurant where you used to spend your entire life at.
Where you're now a bartender.
Yeah, where you're now a bartender.
And you're sober.
Yeah, right, dude. Like all these things, like what the fuck. But thank you, by the way, for providing me with the environment to prosper in that capacity, and also be able to do some funny jokes sometimes. We do have this do a shameless plug right now for the incredible Isaac Ignacio and company. I did mispronounce his name on purpose because he needs it. He needs a little humbling because I'd be stroking his ego all the time because I'm about to do some more because this guy is funny as shit. I think he's gonna be a big shot in the entertainment world, let alone the comedy world. And so he'll be headlining. We have a great group of people, featured artists, including myself, Songbird, Tina Marie Johnson, Ace, the asshole Jackson. No, I'm just kidding. The Ace hole. That's what I forget. We had a joke about that once. Carson Hale, who's a big corn-fed country boy that could bench press all of us.
Have I met him before?
No, you haven't met
Okay.
Carson yet. Carson's awesome, man. I love Carson. He's one of my favorite people to run into at open mics.
I'm gonna ask him to bench press me. I've never been bench pressed before.
Man, he looks like he's a hot dude, man. You're gonna be careful if he
Well,
grabs, depending where he grabs you, I guess.
He's hot. He can do what he wants.
Eddie Hoffman. Eddie Hoffman's one of very few people that makes me look tan. Fucking love him. That's going to be awesome. Jenner Coker is coming out again. It's like his second show with us. Going to hopefully talk about trucks and being from Texas and shit. I hope he wears a cowboy hat. Jenner, if you're watching,
go full redneck.
I'm going to put this in our group chat that I have with the comedians for that show. Jenner has to dress up like he's on Yellowstone. Or Dallas, actually. That'd be better if he dressed up like Dallas, but he had to do it like timepiece Dallas, where it's actual, like the actual gear, like the Lee, paint on jeans and the fucking, belt buckle and bulging pants and hat and all that shit. But yeah, it's gonna be a great show. That's at the Catamount Lounge on March 29th, this Saturday. We have an Eventbrite set up that you can find on our Facebook page. You can listen to check out the Bargoyles episode 131 featuring this great dude named Chris Kenworthy for other details about that show. But yeah, Isaac, it's going to be a great show. Isaac's a fantastic performer. Everybody that's there is really good. So you get a really good quality show. It's free. We recommend getting some tickets, though, so you get preferred seating. They are going fast. Am I missing anything, Shannon? Are you going to do anything fun?
I mean, it's always fun. You guys are going to be the ones doing the funny stuff.
Yeah, we're doing the funny stuff. Shannon and Juliet's are going to be back there, and Sam and Levi and Chris are all going to be back there, just moving and shaking and keeping it going. So that's my shameless plug for right then and there.
Yeah.
And then we got next week. You booked a great guest for next week.
Oh yeah,
but we'll talk about that towards the end, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, we can do that.
I didn't realize what time it was.
What time is it?
It's only 8:10.
Oh.
We got plenty of time.
Plenty of time, dude. My daughter competed for Virginia this week.
Again?
Well, because she won the states, they have like championships for all the other champions, and so but it was her first freestyle tournament, and freestyle means she doesn't have to wear them ear guards and shit, but like they can pick you up harder. My daughter has a good move that she does all the time. It's just jiu-jitsu. She just hip tosses people, and I think this big ass girl, she's like my size, fucking saw that shit coming, and she body slammed the shit out of her. I was like, oh shit, you got ragdoll. But she got second place, so she did good.
Yeah.
But it was weird seeing her in like a Virginia color, because for like the last 4 years, it's been like 2 or 3 different colors of singlet she wore. And then it was like some big ass like Virginia all over it. I was like, this is weird.
That's awesome, man.
This is weird. She gonna be on a Wheaties box enough.
Yeah.
I don't have too much to talk about. I host open mic.
Yeah.
And I fuck up songs. Let me tell
The
you.
only person that knows, I'm gonna tell you this, right? Like you're like, oh my god, I would ruin the song, and like it's like, and I'll be, in my
Tilt your
mind,
mic forward, like more towards the yoke. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are like two of the worst. Like, it'll sound great. Nobody has any idea that anything is wrong, and then you're both like, "Oh, it's terrible. I can't deal with it." That was me.
That's why I'm remastering my album 79 times.
Yeah, yesterday
it has to be totally perfect.
It does.
One thing I did do yesterday that I don't think is that I did have a full blown temper tantrum where I slammed.
At work?
No, during the recording session. Remember?
No.
I had a temper tantrum after the first take because I was so.
I don't remember. Where was I?
It was a joke.
Did you walk
I did
off?
it jokingly.
Oh,
yes,
shit.
remember?
Oh, dude.
And I slammed down the lyrics, and I was like, "I'm out of here." And then I stormed out.
Okay,
and
it
smoked a
was
cigarette.
obviously a joke, so I didn't remember it.
Oh, you ruined my joke again.
Yeah.
Man, I've seen the biggest temper tantrums in the studio when like recording with bands. I once ripped the guitar strings off my my Les Paul and like popped one of the tuning keys. I was like, I fucked up, like, and just ripped my E string clean off the guitar.
I ripped my G string straight off.
I've never done anything like that.
Oh, dude, I saw a guitarist and the singer almost get in a fucking fist fight. Like, dude said it was the calmest fist fight like initiation I've ever heard. The guitarist just stopped playing his guitar because the singer was standing in front of him trying to show him a strumming pattern, and he looks at him. He stops playing. He turns his guitar down, unplugs it, puts it on the stand. He's like, "If you tell me how to play my guitar again, I'm going to punch you in the face." And I was like, "Holy fuck! All right, let's stop." So.
Oh man, yeah, nothing that dramatic has
Yeah.
ever happened to or come out of me on stage.
Oh, dude, yeah, you get a bunch of young 20-year-old men together with lots of testosterone.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. A lot of guys with testosterone, House of Pain, Dropkick Murphys.
What's on your phone?
What's on my phone?
Are you ordering pizza?
You're deep
I'm-
into your phone there.
Well, no, I'm shamelessly, I'm sending people links so they catch on the live show because I want them to interact.
All right.
But it's funny that we're talking about the Dropkick Murphys because simultaneously my friend just ordered a Dropkick Murphys shirt. Who he has never listened to the Dropkick Murphys in his life, but he just sent a video and I was like, they play the white guy appreciation anthem, shipping up to Boston.
Like I never really got into them.
I think if they play good, I think they play good music.
No, they're good.
I'm just not. I'm not that white. And no, I'm just kidding. I think that's a different type of white. That's dirty white. That's dirty Boston white. But I guess I just don't like. I'm not the allure of being Irish. Like there's a lot of white guys who really take pride in being Irish.
Yeah.
Even if they're not Irish, they still like want to be Irish so bad. So they like they're like yes my great grandfather one time finger banged a Irish prostitute. And you're like, yeah, whatever, dude. So your granddad got Irish herpes. Does not make you Irish, bro. But yeah, dude. I think that what were we talking about?
Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys. Yeah, the Dropkick Murphys. It's like one of those. It's like a band that if you're like really into being Irish, then you have to like it. Because,
well, I mean, I remember people liking the Pogues when I was like younger, and that I don't mind them, but I was never super into them. So then the leap to like a faster version of it never happened. I don't mind Flogging Molly, but I think that's because they're accordion player with like a skateboarder. So like I remember seeing the Thrasher when I was like 16 and being like, I'll listen to this band because he skateboards and he plays accordion.
It's great. I think it's good for like movie soundtracks and stuff like that, like action stuff. But like, would I bump an entire album in my car on the way to work?
Oh, I've definitely seen people do it.
Oh yeah, they're like, yeah, shipping up to Boston, and then you're like, shut up. But yeah, no, you know who loves the Dropkick Murphys so much, and this is how you know he's like that. He's that light skinned. Is Jay Lewis. Jay Lewis loves Jay
Lewis is in the chat.
Yeah, Jay Lewis. Right now. Yeah,
he also said
light skinned Ken himself.
He told me that he asked if my mic was off. Nah, Jay, I ain't got to talk all over everybody. This is why we get kicked out of places.
Yeah, Jay has.
Jay, where are you 15 minutes at? God damn it.
Yeah, Jay, where are you 15? Let's get Jay on the show, and then
we'll have him on the spot.
Yeah, then you have to be on the.
I'll get a spotlight and just turn it on.
You know what's wild about Jay? Do you know what he does for his creative outlet?
What's that?
He plays congos in a go-go band. But this motherfucker can't get on stage and do his funny jokes about having a large black penis. It is fucking terrible, man. He's withholding that BBC humor from us, man.
The one time I saw him, he was really funny.
Yeah.
He was fucking amazing. Yeah.
That's the only reason I say anything about him going up, because I'm like, I know you got 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Jay's he's shy with it, but you get him some Congo, get him some Congos.
Maybe that should be.
Get him a lemonade based cocktail and a curvy white woman, and that man will fucking go, son.
Well,
get it.
Just bring in Congos
Shout
and then
Amy.
tell him like you got to do comedy while you play us a beat.
That's actually not a bad idea, dude. Jay, that could be his
He'd
security
be like
blanket.
the new what is that?
His pocket beat and just tell a story. You know, man, that would be actually kind of cool.
He'd be the new Ricky Ricardo.
Oh, my horse and carriage are for hire, Senora.
I only know Babalu. I don't know the deep tracks.
Oh man, well, see, that's the
Desilu deep tracks.
And you know that's gonna be the culture I'm gonna appropriate. It's gonna be Cuban immigrants from the '40s with nightclubs.
Lou Bega already got you beat, man.
Man, yeah, but he's part Cuban, isn't he?
Well,
I'll get Pitbull on the track. Fuck that shit, all right?
I'll pay the feature money.
Oh my god, dude! That's gonna be new in my new life. My big life recording goals is to get a track with Pitbull. I want to do a track with Pitbull, and also it is discussed on Bargoyles episode 131, starring Chris Kenworthy.
Lou Bega is German, by the way.
He's German. Wow, man, he went full
appropriated that
Nazi refugee style.
Yep, and
he's like,
It's
"What?
a
You think I am
remake.
German? No, a little bit of Monica in your life."
it's a remake of a 1947 song
Jesus.
that was. I'm trying to
Oh,
figure
God.
out who the original artist was and if they were.
It's about a Polish prostitute.
Perez Prado, who was Cuban.
Okay.
So he already beat you to appropriating Cuban culture as a
Well, then I can-
European white man.
God damn. Well, you know what? Then I will double appropriate, and then I'll bring it back 2 times. Yeah, I just want to show. I'll start showing up to work wearing like large shoulder pads and like flowing pants and like a Cuban cigar in my mouth. Be like, hey, Shannon,
So you
I
guys,
need 2 mojitos, please.
do you guys remember the era after ska got big, where like that like 70 or 1930s like big band music came in?
Yep.
Do you remember the name of the band that was the biggest band out of all those bands?
Squirrel Nut Zippers.
No.
Oh gosh, the something big poppin' cherry.
The Cherry
Daddies.
Poppin' Daddies.
Yes.
Oh, dude, we were playing Xbox High shit the other day, and like somebody started singing Zoot Suit Riot, and I was like, yeah, holy shit. And then it neuron fired and greased up. I was like, they're called the Cherry Poppin' Daddies. And then I said it, and Brendan was like, are you serious? What? Holy shit, they were. And like, that got played on the radio, and they were like, it's the Cherry Poppin' Daddies. And, like, every DJ that played that song said that like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Cherry Poppin' Daddy, Squirrel Nut Zippers. There was like, what was the other ones? There was Real Big Fish. You had to have 3. You had to have like 3 words in your thing. It was
Ska did get big.
I love ska music, man. One of my favorite memes is it's like what ska music like looks like, or it sounds like to a. It's like ska. No, ska music is like when you're 13 and you get an extra mozzarella. It's the soundtrack to when you're 13. You get an extra mozzarella stick on the thing.
Punk ska was big too. Like
Yeah, like that.
daycare swindlers.
Well, ska got so big that like even like Rancid and NoFX like definitely had some like upstrokes in their guitar parts for like 4 years. That shit was like wow.
Doesn't the guy that plays with Tammy and Rafe, Michael, isn't he from? He's from the day. He used to play in the daycare swindlers.
If
I
that's
believe.
so, I didn't know that. Mike Shotton?
I believe so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
Google him and find out? I got
Dude,
the Google right here.
Yo, speaking of Googleables, we had an
Yeah.
amazing celebrity sighting at the Catamount Lounge this Friday night.
All right.
Oh my God,
He
has
sent
a,
me a picture of an old
No,
white
wait,
man.
that's
Like
not
I was
him,
supposed to
though.
know who it was.
That motherfucker is the goddamn Mike. He is like the Scottie Pippen of bowling. Tom Baker.
I don't know who.
Exactly.
Thomas Baker, a.k.a. Tom Baker, a.k.a. Tommy Gun Baker.
You're like starstruck over there.
Dude, I was. No, here's the thing. All right, yeah, I fucking was. This really happened on Friday night. Yo, Tom Baker, I'm going to send you a link to this because we had to talk about Helltown Radio. He said next time he's in town, he will come on the show.
I'm setting up my childhood plastic pins and plastic bowling ball, and he better bowl a strike.
Dude, you got all right, so here's the deal. He's got so he was in the league for 38 years, 23 national championships. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the PBA Hall of Fame. He you know the guy who has that famous quote where he bowls a strike and then he's like, what's he say? Something like, I am what you all want to be, or some shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That bowling thing. That dude and him were roommates on tour. He was telling me that dude partied his ass off, dog.
Earl Anthony,
yeah, that's the dude. But the dude's name is Thomas Baker. Tom Baker is the name of the dude who was there. So he came in and I recognized him because he walked up to the bar and I was like, hey man, I was like, I'm gonna be kind of weird. I was like, I think I know who you are. And he was like, who? And I was like, yeah, you're a bowler, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, fuck, I'm in town. He was doing some sort of tournament at the Royal
yo, he was
Royal
balling
Family
hard
Lanes.
in 1980. This motherfucker won $103,000.
His entire
That's a shit ton of money in 1980. Yeah,
Dude, he
that's
was-
like a milli.
Yeah,
I
dude.
still don't know him.
Yeah, I don't know him either, but I didn't know Bowlers was making like $100,000
Yeah.
in 1980.
Why did he come to Front Royal to do a tournament?
Because Rick hosts tournaments. I mean, those tournaments all happen at they don't happen. There's not like they have stadiums in
Yeah, I
major
guess
cities.
so.
They just dress up the local bowling alleys to look like a stadium. You know,
That's crazy.
they have a whole PBA is fascinating. But I used to watch a lot of it as a kid. I'd get high as shit and watch the PBA. And so I recognized him. I was like, so dude, I was like, yeah, you're in the PBA. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, oh my God, I was recognized in public by this weird tattooed guy. Like, I think it was very enamoring for him to have the youth in his pocket. So anyways, we talked and he was cool. He's told me stories about the tour, the realities of it, the awesomeness of it. Like, it was cool, man. He was really nice. He hung out. And then at like midnight, he's like, I have to go. I'm like, why, dog? What's up? And he's like, yo, we're having a roll off. Apparently, it got to the point like him and some dude tied, so he had to go back to the bowling alley for a late night roll off. That's real shit, dude. Yeah, dude. And he was doing it he said all of the money he's ever made as an adult has been made through bowling.
Yeah, I mean, from the sounds of it, yeah, he was making cheddar.
He was cool as shit too. He was fucking so nice. He was cool. He talked to a bunch of people, like, because I was like, yo, you guys don't even know. I was so like, oh my God, you guys. I was like, do you know who this is?
You went full fanboy.
I did, man. I was like, do you know who this is? I was like, this is Tom Baker, man. This is Tom fucking Baker.
It's the king of the pins.
Yo, he fucking did not get Munsoned. That's a Kingpin reference, everybody. Yeah, but it was killer, man. But you know what? Him and I share the same opinion. He doesn't like the strings on the bowling pins now that they do. They put strings on them to make it more easily resettable, and he doesn't agree with it. And I was like, look, I'm a shitty bowler, so I'll look for any excuse to why my score sucks. So I was like, when they put up those strings, I was like, oh, those fucking strings, they're the reason I suck. And then everybody was like, no, dude, they've been sanctioned and blah, 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 blah. And then, I got Tom Baker, the 38-year veteran, Hall of Faming, 23-time champion Tom Baker, agrees with me on the subject matter. So I win. I just have to say that, Rick Novak. I love Rick Novak. Shout out to Rick Novak. He sent Tom over to the Catamount. He was like,
next time you're up there, be like, look, Tom Baker told me these strings fucking suck.
Nah, man, Rick, I don't want to be on the other side of Rick. We should get Rick on the show now that I'm not going to be smoking up a storm in here. Rick, man, I mean, I don't know. I'll save the story for the show if he'll let me tell it in public, but I'll say this. I know Rick got hands.
Oh,
I call him Ricky Balboa for a reason.
Ricky Balboa.
Yeah, Ricky Balboa Novak. The owner of, and you know what? He's such an amazing dude. That guy, like, Royal Cinemas, such a nice like piece of Americana on Main Street. The Royal Family Lanes that he also owns. It's just well maintained. It's up to. It's not even up to date. It's like state of the art. His stuff is always like on.
I got a suggestion for him if he wants to get a trilogy going.
What up?
Royal go-karts.
Go kart and mini golf.
Yeah,
Which
mini
usually
golf. I'll take that over. Golf,
if Big Lots ever go, like a place like Big Lots, and in fact, there's some of the larger, shout out to anybody who wants to make an investment of a couple $1 million. We could make it like in those large, in the shopping centers we have here, those large empty, spaces where you had the big, anchors before, could be totally converted into a miniature golf course. My favorite one in Sterling, there used to be one. It was called like, I can't remember what it was, like Tea Time or something, or Tee Off. But we used to go, and it was like in an old Kmart that had gone out of business or whatever, and they built a mini golf course in it, and it was badass.
I've never seen an indoor mini golf course.
Yeah,
mini golf. By the way, another thing you don't know about me is I am fucking awesome at mini golf. Like I don't know my putting game is fucking good, dude. It's surprising to me even. I mean,
I'm not very good at it, but it's fun. I only play it when I go to Florida because that's the only place that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I'm like
anything.
I'm the Happy Gilmore of the short game. That motherfucker could drive it. I can't drive for shit, dude.
They have that one of those like they got an arcade, go karts, and mini golf like right down the street from my mom's house. So whenever I would go down there, I'd be like my daughter would definitely be like, yeah, we're definitely going there, right? But I suck at mini golf, yo. I suck at all golf. Like, you take me to a driving range, I'm like, yo, you just hit this shit hard. And they're like, no, there's technique. I'm like, fuck all that shit.
I'm not very good. I'm good at darts, though. So, like, put dartboards up, maybe.
I'm not good at any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not good
I'm bad at all of it.
I'm not good or bad at playing pool. Like, I understand the concept, so I can move the balls around, but I'm never like, I'm going to take your money. Like,
also bad at pool. Yeah, billiards are not my thing, I guess.
Yeah, like I when I first started playing pool, like at like any of those places, I was always afraid I would like rip the table with the cue, like I would hit into the table,
like some cartoon character.
I was like, does that really happen? Oh no, they gonna charge me for this whole table.
That would be dope though, like a little mini golf or something like that. This town needs more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Now that I can't drink anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I can.
We'll
I'm choosing not to right now.
I mean, they got the axe throwing place. I haven't been in there personally.
Yeah, that place is
it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been either.
We should have them on.
We should.
They've been into the Catamount, the owners. They're very nice. But I don't go out a lot, so I haven't been in. I only go out to work.
You are out.
I know. I'm out a lot of the time.
You are the facilitator. You are the
By
deity.
default.
You are the deity of what is out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely want to move to Main Street. I think it'll be awesome. I could have impromptu like podcast sessions.
Yeah.
Just be like, come up to my apartment. That would be strange.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
so
They're
close
not
to
that
Main Street
far. I
as
mean,
it is.
realistically, that's not a bad.
Yeah,
it's
but if
not
I was
great.
like, yeah, I live like 4 doors down. Let's go record a podcast. It would be feasible if I'm like, hey, get in your car and drive a mile and follow me to the strange house.
I mean, if it's somebody who doesn't know you and would think strange house, it's probably going to be weird to go up to your apartment 4 blocks
Yeah,
away.
they'll be like, is
also.
it, this is
Especially
gonna.
if you're like, hey, come to my place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
do a
4 blocks
podcast.
away.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
You don't even
okay.
have
They'll
to
be
drive
like,
there.
They'd be like, no, I've seen the Golden Glove. Don't you?
We've seen that movie. We've seen how many bodies he's stuffed in his flat.
That movie is fucking. That is probably to me like the most accurate film in terms of like the way they show shit going down and how he could fly underneath the radar. When he got caught, he didn't like. There wasn't some like I'm a killer. It was like, oh shit, they caught me.
My mom lived in that town
Oh,
during
dude.
that time. I
Holy
think she
shit.
was like 12 years old when that happened. So
Holy fuck.
yeah, I mean, she wasn't his demographic, so he
Yeah,
was
well,
looking
no,
for.
Well, just like the fact, like that was such a gross thing. Like the fact that there was decomposing bodies in a crawl space in his house.
Yeah,
They called
So-
seepage to the floor downstairs.
yeah.
Yikes.
That's how he was found out as the serial killer in Germany.
It's a serial
Yes,
killer in
and he
Germany,
wasn't caught until like the neighbors complained about the smell and the weird stuff that was oozing out of the walls.
Yeah, like that's the oh boy, things you don't think about. I think when Megan, when she was on the show, she would talk about like the soup is what they call it, I believe.
Yeah.
That is terrible, and oh man, my balls have been shrunken in my body thinking about it. The smell of death alone
Yeah.
is just really
Can you
weird.
like you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I mean, it's the same thing with what's his face?
Dahmer.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
that whole time, and
Well, they
his
coulda
neighbors
caught him.
complaining about the smell, and he's like, "Oh, my refrigerator's broken."
They're like, shut up, old lady.
The fact that
We're tired of listening to your bullshit saying it smell like death in this motherfucker.
the fact that one of
Wild.
Dahmer's victims got out the house like mid him fucking him up, and the cops were like, "Oh, this is just 2 gay guys arguing. We're not getting
Yeah.
involved."
Yeah.
And just
Like-
let
And
him.
the kid, like, it was like a 14-year-old
Yeah, they
kid,
were
too.
Like imagine like a cop being like, "Oh no!" Like
Yeah.
Can't be bothered with any of that.
You know what's wild is
We have minorities to beat.
Yeah. What was wild is all of those excerpts that with a woman like calling the police. Those are actually those are real.
Yeah.
Those aren't like
yeah,
so
Golden
like.
Glove.
And there's one where she's like, "But it's a child. Are you sure it's not a child?" Like she says it like
Yeah.
several times,
Oh, dude.
and he's like, "No, no, no, it's not." Ugh.
Man.
Well, anyway, that guy's dead because he was a piece of shit. So
Yeah, they
There you
beat
go.
his ass.
Yeah, that's the
Jail will get you.
Oh yeah. But it's
Speaking
all-
of jail.
But I know it's like jail gets you, but also jail is a good place to learn how to play Scrabble.
What?
Yeah, dude, that's where I learned how to play. Man, I learned, dude. I'm vicious on that
So
Scrabble.
is there
board.
is there a sick board game club in jail?
Well, I mean, in general, you have to find ways to occupy your time.
Who's the best at Candyland? Shoots and ladders.
This really weird dude, but it was his hustle. He liked to play shoots and ladders more so. He called it was a weird thing. The poop shoots and ladders, really. Dump up ching.
That's funny.
Yeah, you learn how to play Scrabble pretty well when you're in an incarceration situation because a lot of the times you're gambling on these games, and so you're playing for soups. And a soup is an equivalent. One soup is pretty much the equivalent of $1 American. So that's how the transactions work. It's sort of like Bitcoin, but it doesn't appreciate very well.
But don't you? So soups. I'm getting confused. Don't you get meals?
Yeah, you get meals, but you have commissary too. So you get a commissary account where you can put in. You have private fund. If you have people put in
really
money, and then
If you're
you get
extra hungry, you can get like soup if you want.
well, no, you don't get extra. If you're extra hungry and you're broke, you're fucked. You're given hand jobs for soup. Nah, I'm just kidding. Some guys do. I don't know. Like I was never, unfortunately, I was never approached. And I don't know if it's because I'm assertive or unattractive, but yeah, dude. Yeah. So yeah, you play for. There's a lot of stuff going on, but people like in there, like it's not just that it's competition, but it's also exemplary of like being mentally strong and like smart. Intelligence is actually valued in that situation. So you'll play people, man. I remember I almost got my ass whooped over the word duvet. And this dude was like, he was mad because I was winning, and like he didn't like it because I was new to the table, and like I kind of picked up on it quick, because when you go in there playing Scrabble, you think originally your idea is, if I play the big words, and I play cool words and I do stuff that I want to put down, that's how I'm gonna win. And then you learn that it's a strategy game, and there's stuff you have to like find how to enter. You have words you want to ride off of, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and you learn that, and you learn about it. So I picked up on it quick, and this dude was like, he was just mad because he taught me how to play, and then I was starting to whoop his ass. I put down duvet, and he's like, man, what the fuck a duvet? Who's a duvet? What's a duvet? And I was like, yo, it's a duvet. And he's like, it's a type of blanket. And he stands up, and he's like, man, that's bullshit. That ain't a fucking word. You trying to use that shit. You think because you fucking little white boy, you going to fucking get that over on me bullshit. He's like, I know that word's bullshit. I've called it because, part of Scrabble is bluffing. Like, occasionally you'll put down a word that is either misspelled or doesn't exist, but you're just trying to like get that, you're trying to get it. And like when you're playing in real life as opposed to playing in video game world, like you have the challenge. When you challenge, if you challenge it and you're wrong, then you get skipped. Then the person gets to go again. Mm-hmm. So you learn when you're playing in real life Scrabble with a 6'4", fucking gorilla that's sitting across from you that's like about to fucking flip a table. Like, don't fucking play too much. And so he was like, yeah, you always be playing with words. So finally he looks up duvet and he finds it. He was like, you motherfucker, man. He was like, he was like, yeah. I was like, hey, man, rules is rules, dog. I got to go again. And, then slam dunked on him. That's where I asserted my dominance on him. Later on, and this is real story, we worked out together. And this dude, he put all the weights on the machine that you had. So it was like 250 pounds. And then he had me sit on the bar, so it was about 450 pounds, and bench press that shit, no fucking problem. So that's the type of guy that when I was playing Scrabble with, that's who taught me how to play Scrabble, and he learned from his grandmother, and he was he loved his grandma very much, and he wanted to make her proud, so he got himself incarcerated and then became the jailhouse Scrabble champion. No, I was kidding.
I tried to do like the words with friends, and I got bored immediately. It was all the weird ads, and I'm like, I am not paying full price to not have ads to play this game.
My Scrabble addiction is kind of sprawled out a little bit throughout the Catamount Lounge. I got Shenan back on the Scrabble pipe.
Scrabble Go.
Yeah, Scrabble Go.
The app we use.
Yeah, it's Phil, Adam. Actually, it's Adam. I neglected the game, so he resigned it. So I picked it up again, and my first word dropped a bingo, and a bingo is when you use all the words in all the letters in your tile, or in your not your tile, all the tiles in your rack, and you get a 50-point bonus on it. It's called a bingo. Ooh. And I dropped a bingo on him off the break. I was like, "Yo, son, this is who you fucking with."
The bingo break.
Does that one have ads too?
It does, but you can
skip them though.
Yeah, you can skip them.
I think the words with friends was so annoying because it's like you'd have to wait for a few seconds and then you skip.
Well, all you have to do with Scrabble Go, Chris figured this out, is you click out of the app and back in, and then the ad's gone.
Yeah. Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Screw you, Scrabble Grow. Go. Scrabble Grow. Scrabble.
Scrabble Grow.
Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
I've never seen more people get excited over Scrappy Doo
at trivia.
Yeah. Everybody loves Scrappy Doo. He was really cute.
Terrible.
Except for who was that was like, he ruined the show.
Oh, I don't remember.
Somebody in the crowd was like, yeah, it was Bobby. It would be Bobby, wouldn't it? Fucking Bobby Sims out there. No, shout out Bobby Sims. He's actually probably watching the show right now, so we can't talk shit about him. No, I was kidding. we wouldn't talk shit about him ever. We don't talk shit about anybody. We're all a bunch of positive polys around here.
No, we talk shit about one person.
Who that?
You know who? She's the enemy of the show that you.
Oh, right.
Who? Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katy Perry. Fuck Katy Perry. By the way, put that in the algorithm.
You know what? It was
hashtag.
You know what? Rumor or
F.
conspiracy theory she addressed this week.
What's that? That she's a robot?
No.
She's a fembot?
I didn't know about this conspiracy theory. I thought it was hilarious that she was John Benet Ramsey.
What?
Yeah.
I think I've heard that.
The internet is hilarious.
Well, it's getting to the point now because people are so willing to just retread stuff that is like completely bogus, but just because it's been made online or it's been made on a computer, it looks kind of real, I guess. And like we know, I'm not going to say by names who it is, but like today, KFC was accused of serving human meat Was the
was it
latest.
dipped in that original recipe?
I hope so. I mean, I was like,
It was delicious. I don't care if it was my finger. It'd be delicious.
They're taking finger licking good a little bit far these days over at KFC, I guess. Chang.
I mean, but see, here's the problem though. They found the body. The body was in the basement.
In
Child's
KFC?
body. No, I mean John.
They
So how
rammed
could
it?
it be like?
Yeah, well, Demi Moore's been accused of being a man. She has children, biological children, and they are visibly.
Oh yeah.
This is
Also-
why I
Well, I
hate
mean, the
humans.
explanation for all of that is the government lied to you, Hollywood lied to you. It's all a lie.
I'm glad you saw the absurdity.
That holds validity sometimes, though.
I'm glad someone else saw the absurdity of those claims and how they were like pigeonholed together. Like, I bet you there's a board at home of all the celebrities that are women that are really born men, and they're the government. And there's some guy sitting in the government. He's like, "This is my office. This is how I get it done."
Even if that were true, who the fuck cares?
Well, it's just like it's
Whip
hilarious.
it out,
Yeah,
girl.
what's the point?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's why. Like
Well, no,
why? Like
and then
because when people argue, it's like you just sound like
Well-
a giant.
Well,
like,
so if you trace
bigot.
that, well, no, if you trace it back, it always goes back. Even flat Earth, like a lot of these theories, they go back to like some weird section of Christians that believe the world's only like 5,000 years old, like those type. I forgot what. There's a name for them because I went to church with my parents, and at one point, some dude came in and started talking about how man walked with dinosaurs, and I had like. I've been through fucking all kinds of classes, and I was like, "This is horse shit. Y'all don't believe this, do you?"
I bet you were looking at your mom like,
Like my mom was like,
on.
she was like,
just smile and nod.
yeah, just like, be polite. These we may be going to a new church. They're crazy.
Yeah, that's
But-
wild.
But yeah, like a flat Earth. I didn't know about that shit until like there's a part of the flat Earth bullshit where they talk about the firmament, and that's also a thing in like religious texts, and it's all like once you start digging into it, all of them are like that. Like all those conspiracy theories end up being like, especially the more wild one about like the cult of billionaires that are drinking adrenochrome from children and stealing them, and it's a cartel of baby drinking bloods. Like it always goes back to some weird like, and Jesus told us in Revelation 3 that this would happen, didn't he?
Yeah, wait, man, conspiracy. Yeah, but there are, you know what? There are some like wild conspiracy theories, but there are some ones that are like crazy, but they're founded. Yeah,
Alien ones are sort of not
conspiracy theories anymore.
Well, no, well, not even that. Like,
Now
there's
they're
no
just-
like weird like flat Earth. You gotta like have some like somebody's already pulled some wool over your eyes. Like,
No, there's plenty of weirdness in the alien conspiracy theories. I mean, the whole
There is
sodomy
weird.
thing is number one on that list.
yeah,
Like
dude,
that's what aliens want to do when like
Yeah.
they finally make contact
Cruising
with
around.
a new species is like put stuff up their butts, see what
That's
happens.
like-
What if they come down and they're like, yo, that was this old technology. We're sorry about the butt diddling at first. We are really sorry. We didn't know y'all was sensitive back there.
We have a mouth swab now.
We have a waste port. No feeling.
What if it's just like a giant joke? Like
Yeah,
up
they're
there,
like,
watch this, guys.
Did you get him with the probe?
Dude, you know what? That reminds me of this dude who was a very effeminate waiter at a server at a restaurant I worked at, and it was a small restaurant, and his name was Ever, and he talked like this. And one day we were like talking, he's like, yeah. In my country, this one time or a couple of times, we play a joke on our friends. You know, when you get really drunk at the bar, we call it wheelbarrow. And I'm like, wheelbarrow? I was like, and my boss and I are like, all right. My boss at this time is a very conservative, like right wing dude, and he's like, his eyes I could see like are getting like wide as fuck. He's like, yeah, in wheelbarrow. So what happens is you have too many beers at the bar and you pass out, and then we put you in a wheelbarrow, and then we take you in the woods and we fuck you in the ass. and then you're gay.
Oh.
And I know that's a joke that's been done before, but this is a real story that happened, and like that is a verbatim conversation. And my boss is like, he just throws his paper down. He's like, no. He goes, that means you're gay and also a rapist. And he was like, man, he's like, I don't even know why I'm let you have a job still. It was wild, man. Yeah, that was another uncomfortable hilariousness episode of my life where I was like, holy shit, what a weird ass thing to say to somebody.
Yeah.
It's right. Like,
and now you're gay. It's like that's how it works. It's like branding a calf. Like no, all of a sudden I really want to listen to Lady Gaga. It's weird.
Dude. Yeah. All right. So yeah, aliens, not a lot of religious context. Sasquatch. If you tell me you believe in Sasquatch or you've seen one or you're going to go Sasquatch hunting, I know you do mushrooms and you might be like crazy.
But we'll have to get my brother-in-law on the show to talk about conspiracy theories because he's well versed.
What does he know about the Squatch?
He knows a lot about Squatch, dude. He knows a lot about.
Has he gone
Squatch.
squatching?
He may have. His current fixation is celestial photography. So
like the Horsehead Nebula and shit.
Yeah, he gets some really cool pictures. If you ever get a chance, Reed Badger, check him out on the Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, he's got a cool. He does and it's weird how that works. Like,
is he doing it to look for the aliens, or is it just he likes to take the pictures?
He likes to take the pictures, but if he happens to find some aliens along the way, he would not be disappointed. Neither would I. In fact, here, let me show you something. This is something, and I keep meaning to utilize this stuff. He gave it to me for Christmas last year. This is how weird I am. Let me show you some of the contents of my backpack. I'm a 44-year-old man.
Over here playing show and tell.
Yes, exactly. That's something else. I've got my Game Boy Advance. That's one thing.
This is like your version of Cribs.
But here we go. I have my CE5 handbook.
What's the CE5 handbook?
So CE5 is it's a fifth encounter. It's an encounter of the fifth kind. It's a close encounter of the fifth kind.
What's the fifth kind?
The fifth kind is when you initiate the contact with them.
Oh, so what's
you're phoning home to ET.
So the third kind is where they come down.
Fourth kind's when they diddle you. Fifth kind.
So the fourth kind. What? We jumped. You just glossed over that.
And then the fifth kind is when you call her back because you like the diddling. So I have this. So he hooked me up with this, which is a handbook on how to do it. And then also in conjunction with, I have a journal, and it gives you like total guided like meditation stuff and all the things you need to do. So I'm gonna start utilizing this, and we'll get back to this in a couple months. If I
know there was a weird alien conspiracy I heard about a while ago, but it has to do with DMT. So they said that, like, I don't know if it was like a government installation or if it was like at a medical research place, but they were giving people intravenous doses of DMT and then trying to get them to map the DMT realm.
Okay.
So a lot of people, like, around that point, they stopped referring to a lot of things as UFOs. There was UAPs and then extra-dimensional beings.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people were like, they made contact through DMT. And I'm like, I've done DMT. And if I told you I made contact through DMT, listen to what I'm saying for the points of, like, how things are connected. But if I tell you I can draw a map of it, don't believe me. Don't listen to anything I say, like, because it'll look like Rabbit's Realm, or like, I don't know, like, it looked like the inside of a knapsack with light. Everything was made of light. Like, but that's I mean, I've never done intravenous DMT.
Yeah, that
but
sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifyingly awesome. What are we talking?
Pass.
Man, I don't know if I have it in me to do drugs ever again, man. Like, I like weed, obviously, but I just like the doing anything else past.
I guess
even drinking is terrifying. It was strangely terrifying to me right now.
I guess out of all of them, like, DMT is fucking intense. I won't like be like, no, it wasn't that bad. Nah, that shit's fucking. It does feel like you're in another realm. But the fact that it metabolizes so fast and you're done in like 15 minutes is kind of interesting.
But does it ever feel like 3 years?
No, I've never had that. I've heard that like salvia is more like that.
Oh, okay.
I've never done salvia, but I definitely seen people do salvia, and they were in a different realm. I remember watching this dude. He was sitting on the floor at Interpunk, and he was leaning against the wall, and he did like this. He basically was like, it felt like I fell into a different realm. That's what I was like, bro, you threw your fucking arms up. You were sitting on a dirty ass floor in a screen printing warehouse.
Dude, game over, man. That movie when the salvia scenes are so fucking funny with Adam Devine. You know what I'm talking about? That
yes.
movie? Like, he's growing it in the room in there.
Yeah, that one I never saw a point to. DMT seemed like it was like really strong. Everybody that I knew that I've done acid with, like when we were like in high school and mushrooms with, were like, yo, this is you should try it once. And then I kept joking like I want to see my spirit jaguar, because everybody was like, the same people were like, I want to do ayahuasca. So I was like, all right, let me be ridiculous. And then the first time I tried it, like I did it 2 times in a row. The first time I guess I like took a breath too soon, and then like they were like, yo, you didn't like you didn't hold it in. So then like this dude comes from behind me, and I didn't know he had done this, but he put like 3 times the dose on there, and then he like puts it in there, and it's vaporizing, and he passed me on his shoulder, and he's like, see you later. And I was like, what? so I go in, and like Bob Marley's playing, so it's kind of chill. And then all of a sudden, everything like looks like it starts glistening, to where like this table would look like it had like all of it on the outside had this weird layer of like almost like computer code, or like a bunch of different numbers, or like in little lines going across it. And then like if I looked at your hand, it would be like a different code like running all over your fingers and the couch and everything. And if you touched it, they sort of went into each other. And I was like, too intense. So I closed my eyes, and then I could still see everything, but it was like sort of like black and had the outline still. I couldn't see like facial features, but it was like, oh no. Like then I opened my eyes back up, and like it gave me the feeling that everything was connected. That's like, but if you asked me like 5 minutes after that, I'd have been like, oh my God, bro. Like, but yeah, it's worth doing once. I would say like I think to run for public office, to be the president, you should have to.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
like they should have video of you doing it. See if you freak out. If you freak out, nah, next.
I did it one time, and I don't need to do it again.
Yeah,
So
like
that
it's
was my
it is
experience.
intense.
One of my trusted homies told me, I was like, what was it like? And he said, you should never do it. And I was like, why is that? He goes, well, dude, you're either going to see aliens or you're going to see demons. He's like, and you don't want to see the demons. And I was like, just the way he said it was so matter of fact. This guy doesn't even drink. And I was like, wow. I was like, that's fucking intense, bro. I was like, so man, I'm not gonna gamble, man. I've done some pretty weird shit. So, but yeah, DMT.
I think it's like your mindset too. Like,
Yeah.
Is that
my brother had passed away, like maybe a month before.
oh boy.
I had done it, and I did it, and like I didn't have a lot of closure because he passed away suddenly. So when I did it, I just did it to just kind of get out of that like grieving mindset. But it just felt like everything went white, and I could see him sitting there. I know it was my tattoo artist who had given it to me. He was sitting on the couch, but he kind of morphed into my brother, and he was talking, but I didn't know what he was saying. But I felt like at ease, like I felt like I had closure, like I was actually talking to my brother or whatever. And then as quick as it came, it went away, and then it was my tattoo artist again, and he was like, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, dude. I don't ever want to do that again though. Like I'm good.
I got a show idea. Show ideas. All right. Show idea. We get it. We go to DC. We get a DMT pen. We bring it here. Everybody that's in the room, Shenan, you can come too.
Shenan does not look like she wants
she can be our she can be the shepherd. She can shepherd us through. We all blast some DMT and see what the hell happens on camera.
So with that stuff, like I think the good part about doing it with the person the people I did it with, and at the time was like it was like a set and setting thing. It was like pick a song. We'll play that song right before, like it'll be playing as you go in. Mm-hmm. It was all like it reminded me of the way that they have people do ayahuasca. They have like a shaman or whatever, and apparently those dudes like they hum this tune or play this tune where they're like it's like hey ayahuasca, like, and it like sort of calms you down before you start profusely throwing up. Yeah. Fuck that one. I'm not doing it. If anybody was like, I'm going to an ayahuasca retreat, I'm like, oh, dude, wear clothes you don't want later. You're definitely gonna be like, because I've seen videos of that on like National Geographic, and it was like, it was this white dude in like this rocky river just rolling around moaning. I was like, nah, son.
Does not look fun.
Yeah, I took a 10 strip and didn't do that. Fuck that.
Oh,
I don't ever get like with LSD, not barfy, but definitely with mushrooms.
Oh yeah, mushrooms.
So maybe it's just like
different.
You just take a Pepto-Bismol when you eat the mushrooms. That's what I found works.
I had a friend one time. I had a fucking.
It works.
I had
it's like your cute little chime in. Like,
so you just take a Pepto-Bismol when you eat the mushrooms.
I had a friend one time. We had gotten like a bunch of us got in a cabin. It was out in the middle of the woods, and we like I had like a like one of those like Tupperware things full of mushrooms, and I was like, anybody want some, have some. So like we had that and like Skittles, and everybody was just eating it with Skittles, so you didn't taste it. And then one of my friends, like, just like, he almost got sequestered in the bathroom. Yo, that motherfucker, like, his stomach reacted horribly, and he was like, he spent his whole mushroom trip in the toilet.
That's
terrible.
I was like, I was like, it made me not want to take it. I was like, yo, is this gonna happen to me soon? Fuck.
Yeah.
I've never had a bad reaction like that, but the last 2 times I did it, I just had all the anxiety without any of the fun.
Yeah,
So
like,
it was like my tummy was just in a knot, and I was like, oh, this is not so great.
like with acid, I always found like the come down with just like, yeah, get some orange juice, chill out, smoke
I feel like
a joint.
everything's funnier.
Yeah.
Like, I'm funnier. The world's funnier.
Like when I'm coming down off of mushrooms, I'm like, yo, please let me go to sleep before this totally wears off, because there's gonna be an emotional moment I don't want. Be like, self-doubt, no, sleep, let me go to sleep quick. Acid, I'm like, yay, everything's sparkly. Don't look at the sky, it looks like Star Wars.
Yeah, that's how I am. I get a little introspective with mushrooms, but with acid, I'm like, everything's wonderful and funny, sparkly, shiny.
Time to go to Burning Man.
One day. I've never been there. I've heard
The
things.
Helltown Radio goes to Burning Man.
That would be so
Helltown
cool.
Radio loses George at Burning Man.
George runs into the Burning Man. Dude, my little sister, do you remember it was like maybe like 8 or 9 years ago, the guy that climbed to the top of the dome of Burning Man and then fell through and broke his back?
I didn't hear about it, but it
No, this happened.
sounds-
It was a famous event that happened at Burning Man. It was my little sister's homeboy. Like we were hanging out in London with him. Like she was at a bar and this guy pulls up and he's like big fucking handsome bloke. And he's from America, so I don't know why I call him a bloke, but he was from like Oklahoma or some shit. He comes up and I'm like, oh, what's up with the cane? And he was like, dude, I was at Burning Man and I climbed up to the top of the glass dome and it crashed and I fell through and broke my back. I was like, that's fucking crazy, dude. Like that was, yeah, dude. I met the guy that fell through the fucking dome at Burning Man and a PBA champion. And I could get hit by a car and die happy, man.
The little things in life.
Dude, speaking of little things in life, I had to break this out. I made like a very like strange purchase. Not strange purchase, but I was skeptical of purchase. And it was from one of those internet ads I got. It's like, do you want 22,000 video games in the palm of your hand?
I mean, is it worth it?
Yes.
Here, let me see. I gotta look at it.
Do you remember Fido Dido?
Yes. What the fuck, dude?
Take it. Look at this thing. It's actually pretty, like, it's got pretty good quality to it. I got it from like I think it's called an R36S if you were to look it up. But it has like 22,000 games on it. I think it was like $55 or $60, like pretty fucking cool. It was $55 I think, but I got the screen protectors.
Trying to see if you have road rash.
Yes, it's on there. There's a way you can search. You can just if you can search, but there's all sorts of different. It has arcade emulators, and it's like Neo Geo handheld, Neo Geo Color handheld. All the it's so rad, dude. I played RoboCop on Game Boy. I played RoboCop on NES, RoboCop Arcade, RoboCop 2 Arcade today. I played all those today, but I also didn't play them hard. I would play them for like, isn't that thing awesome? Yes. And you know,
I'm looking at games now.
Yeah, it took 3 weeks to get here. Like, to be truth be told, because it's definitely from China. But yeah, thumbs up on that shit, dude. It's fucking cool. Even though like some of the games don't play. Some games don't play. Like if you try to play the light gun games,
you have Road Rash 3 on here,
dude. There's some obscure games on there. There's some Japanese releases on there that never came out here. There's literally 125 RoboCop games on there. I only knew
to play it.
Yeah, dog. It's fucking wild as shit, man.
I have Road Rash at home on Genesis, and I play it all the time.
Yeah. I recently got RoboCop 3 on Genesis. That shout out to Matt Cellini, by the way. Matt Cellini is third party spending a lot of, not a lot of my money, but he spends money.
He finds stuff and then you want to buy it.
Well, he gets to go out to places. He's got more accessibility to go to places while they're open. And he sees RoboCop stuff and he'll be like, the RoboCop's my shit. So he got me RoboCop 3, the Genesis cartridge game. RoboCop vs. Terminator, the cartridge for Super NES, which I already had on Genesis. And then he got me a UMD copy of RoboCop, which is amazing. The little Universal mini discs, the ones that went in the PlayStation Portable. That's the only thing that plays them. So now I got to get a PlayStation Portable so I can watch RoboCop on it.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
So you can watch RoboCop on a different platform than the platforms you already have.
Yep. Ironically, I don't have it on VHS. I would like to acquire them on VHS.
Is that the hardest one to get?
Nah. No, I'm sure there's probably Blu-ray. Well, it depends. I mean, there's so many releases of it. Yeah, I forget the name of the one company that makes the expensive DVDs. Oh snap! Who dat at the door?
Did you order
Can
pizza?
you get the door for us?
Okay, bro. I'm gonna. Oh, I died.
You died. If she dies, she died.
Where'd you get?
Yo,
this?
what's up?
Oh, you
Pimpin'?
guys.
Yeah, come on in, bro. You want? Oh, you can't.
I gotta move on, but thank you.
Thank you.
He's like, I got warrants. I can't be on camera. Peace out, dog. Thanks, dog. Yeah.
This is what happens.
Did you DoorDash Panda Express?
Yes, I put DoorDash.
This is his thing. Like
Yeah, I
he
love
even did it at Catamount when we broadcast there. He had the pizza people come in.
I'm trying to find this guy's name out here, but shout out to DoorDash driver, whatever his name is. He actually didn't want to be on camera. He was very astute to that. I think he's been seen on To Catch a Predator. But,
He did look reminiscent of the first person that.
did you see that thing, dude?
Yeah. Like I've seen these a bunch. Like I'm like, ugh.
I absolutely need to get one now because
I'll send you the link to
That
it.
is awesome.
Dude, it's
Big
super
old
rad.
widescreen.
I mean, and some of the games don't like. Some of the look at us, bro. This is a special needs moment.
We can't pass the video game.
Man, that's what George and I look like when we sword fight. Jesus Christ. It's like Space Doc. Yeah, this thing is super rad. It's crazy because it's
Wanna
like
share my turtleneck.
it's so right. Like, tuck yourself in.
Can't do that. When I'm
Anytime you see a turtleneck from now on, be reminded of that moment.
Thanks.
We should wear turtlenecks for our next show.
We'll have monogram turtleneck.
Helltown Radio monogram
Dock my
turtlenecks.
head
That
in
could be
your
some good merch we could put out there.
They gotta be beige.
Oh my god, flesh colored.
Oh God. Stop.
Do you want to see it? Are you curious about it? Are there any games that were nostalgic for
I
you?
don't know.
What's
Echo
it?
the
Here, let me see it.
Dolphin.
Echo is on here. I looked. One of the first games I looked up was Echo the Dolphin, the game where you have to do absolutely nothing. There's no fucking point to it at all.
You can swim out of the ocean a little bit.
I'm not a big video game person.
All right, let's see. What's a game?
Oh, what about that game where you're a paper boy? Is it just called
Paperboy?
Paperboy?
One of the
That
greatest
one.
games ever. I believe they have it. So let's see. We're gonna look up. Let's see. Back. All right. Search. So we're gonna search. Pap Schmear Boy, a lesser known version that came out in Kazakhstan. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be awesome if they made a Pap Schmear Boy game where you're just like a young OGBY. Oh, you're like the Doogie Howser of OBGYN. Wouldn't that be awesome if Doogie Howser was an OBGYN on the show? Yeah, he's like, I found a loophole and I get looking at some JJ. Yes, they have Paperboy 1, 2. They have it for the Game Boy. They have it on the Nintendo, the Famicom system, the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy.
I think the NES was the one that I played as a child.
All right, here we go.
They have ColecoVision on that shit.
We can check it out. No, it doesn't. There's some
Burger
weird,
Time.
There's some weird like obscure stuff. Yeah, Burger Time's on there.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Burger Time. Oh, so Matt Delaney, he got me a really cool. It's the marquee from an old RoboCop video game. The thing that goes on the top.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of those cabinets, just because they were made out of cheap, they were made out of cheap. What do they call it? Press wood. A lot of them didn't make it. Or like the components to dilapidate. You can recreate them way easier and make it the same this cabinet. But Data East had a really cool cabinet that had the front of it, they put a rounded marquee on the top. They had a very distinct look to their machines, and so he got me one from a RoboCop machine. But he has one from Burger Time that I'm trying to get us to let it borrow at the Catamount so we can put that Burger Time thing right above the entrance to the kitchen. So like anytime the food comes out, it's gonna look like Burger Time.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, there was the music on that.
Yeah, I played that on ColecoVision. It was before it was like when Nintendo was first coming out. My grandmother had this shit. My grandmother had all this shit that didn't make any sense for an old couple to have. They'd have that a pool table, all kinds of wild shit. But I remember ColecoVision. It was the worst controller ever made. It had a little round thing on the end, and it had number buttons. Dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, well, the buttons you put in, so you had to put in there's inserts that came with the games that you put in to the thing, and they were coordinated with the game. So each one had a different, coordinating thing. So, number 1 for some games would be, going up to the left, or for some other games it was, blow up a bomb or whatever it is.
Nuts.
These nuts.
I'm glad the controllers are better now.
Also, the controllers on this thing are really nice. It was definitely crafted by some of the most talented technical 8-year-olds in China.
All right.
Shout out to Super Wang. Speaking of China, man.
Shenan.
Yes.
Where can people get a hold of you for all your musical endeavors?
Man, well, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. You can just look up Shenan Hahn Music. I think it's the same thing for both of them. I just started a Bandcamp. There's nothing on it yet, but the album I'm working on is going to go on there along with the main streaming stuff that you can find music on. But right now, Instagram and Facebook. And yeah.
What's the name of the song?
The song.
Are you gonna, or can we release? Can we?
It's not. Well, okay. Actually, I do think that one's finished, and I do have it on my phone. If you can play it, let me find.
Can you send it through Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, just send it to.
Are we gonna play it on the air? Are we gonna do world premiere? Bam, bam, bam. But you know what? Hey, you know what? It's funny. I was in the stew, as they say in the hood, as Julieta had said.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were in the stew, I'm in there banging a rapper. I'm smoking and just vibing and shit. And I get up and I'm saying, you'll hear how we sing this. I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna ruin how I sing the song on the show. But yeah, get up there and sing some country shit, and then go back to the being in the stew.
It's not really country.
What would you say it is?
I would say it's I don't know, weird rock.
Weird rock. I did that.
I'm trying to figure out.
Also, the name of my third testicle.
Oh, I think I got
more,
it.
Mr. Weird Rock.
Yeah, I had to get rid of it. I donated.
Lunar Sprung said the song is called "Freebird to Heaven."
Sweet home, Freebird to heaven. Sweet Freebird to heaven. Yeah, that's how it
is. All right. Well, it won't let me. Oh, maybe it's still downloading. It's a pretty big file.
Load that download. Keep it.
Lunar Sprunk also said you should do a Kid Rock cover, Chris.
I will.
Oh no, it's there.
I'll do the
Parappa the Rapper.
Dude, that is the third time today Parappa the Rapper has come up with me very organically.
It won't let me send it for some reason.
Okay, well, just
okay.
You can send it a different way, and I'll attach it to the show no matter what.
Oh well, no, it's okay. We're not gonna play it live on the air. I don't want to leak the file. You know?
Just keep your eye out on all of our social medias between Shenan's. Have you dropped them all yet?
Yeah, I'm on. It's Instagram and Facebook. It's just my name, Shenan Hahn. Instagram is Shenan Hahn Music. Actually, I think it's the same on Facebook. Yeah, they're connected.
Well, it's been an honor to sit next to such an accomplished and beautiful young lady.
Oh, thank you.
The fact that you signed my paychecks has nothing to do with the fact that I'd love to shower you in admiration. But you are super awesome, and you should definitely, I think that sometimes you're such a strong worker and leader that you sometimes forget. I think you forget to, smell the roses, son. You deserve them.
Oh.
Because you be kicking ass and taking names, and you made something really cool on Main Street that have brought a lot of people together. Like everybody in this room, a lot of people we've had on the show, and outwardly, And speaking of the Catamount Lounge, this Saturday, March 29th, the incredible Isaac Ignacio and company will be in the house, featuring Ace Jackson, Jenner Coker, Carson Hale, Songbird Tina Marie Johnson, Eddie Hoffman, and of course yours truly, the mumble rap Drew Carey. We'll be doing that thing. It starts at 8 o'clock. We do have an Eventbrite setup. We recommend coming early. All those things so you can make sure you can sit front and center.
The Eventbrite, is for priority seating. We have
Yeah.
like 20 seats that
Yeah.
you can reserve. Don't reserve all 20, or do reserve all 20 of them. I don't know.
Man, just come
That's
in
fun.
come in, spend all your money, laugh your asses off, tip your bartenders, tip the comedians, tip George for fun, tip
Yeah,
Lita for
why
extra
not?
fun.
I'll take tips.
Hell yeah. Lita, by the way, I forgot to comment on, I love your pants.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Those are some
pants.
Peg
These are-
Bundy.
Yep, my
and-
Peg Bundy
Mm.
pants.
Yes, dude, very
These
Peggy.
are Adam's favorite pants.
I bet,
Like,
as
he's
you
like,
don't.
he's like, you need the bouffant thing.
He's
I'm
gonna,
like, I'm not ready for that yet.
the red
wig. I gotta wait for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poof, the
Yeah.
hair poof.
Yeah.
the buffon,
The
Yeah,
bouffant.
The bouffant.
Yeah, Bouffante. The boof.
the
Yeah,
booth.
the
Bouffant.
You got any other stuff coming up, Chris?
Man, I was out at Hog Shack last week, so shout out to Black and White Comedy on that. Saw all the homies. Isaac was there. That was fun. Aaron Coyne, dude, Monica Daly, bunch of those people just name dropping for no reason right now. Just doing that thing. But let's see. Saturday's the big thing. We'll focus on Saturday. We'll get to the other stuff in the next episode, our next episode, guest starring your friend and a fellow comedian and fellow Brazilian jiu-jitsu ass kicking.
Next Strangler, Abe Musabi is gonna be on here.
Yeah.
He's gonna come on out. Yeah, I've known Abe for fucking years. Like I didn't know he started doing comedy until like a little bit after you started, and but he is a former served in the military, does jujitsu, and he just used to take pictures and film. My last MMA fight or cage fight, he was there. I remember when I won, like they pulled my arms off this dude, and I look up and it's Abe upside down taking pictures through the cage. So
Yeah, dude, so it was weird. Like when I met him, we were at Hog Shack, and he came up and he was like, "Hey man, I love Helltown Radio," and then introduced himself, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's really cool." And then he was like, "Yeah, I love George," and he said he was talking about how he admires you very much, George. So this is gonna be a good time. We can do a Dutch hovercraft. It's not Dutch rudder,
we'll float around the table.
Yeah, just us three. Lita can referee it. She'll be like, "Are you faster over there? Slow down, Chris. You guys, you're going too fast.
You're gonna reach terminal velocity."
Just spraying WD-40 on any part that needs it as it goes.
Jesus Christ.
All right, well, that's all I got for this week. Thank you very much, everybody.
So, Lita, you have some stuff coming up
Yes.
in your art world.
Yes, I'm actually making quite a few horror-related memorabilia type arts. I'm also making those snails. So come see me. I'll have a booth at the Virginia Wine and Craft Festival this year. That's May 17th. And this year it's going to be sunny and beautiful, unlike last year where it was raining and I was running through the streets with the giant ass picture that I ended up selling.
Yeah.
So like it ended up, being okay. So yeah, definitely check me out. And I do have like a little thing for the ladies out there because I was unaware and I didn't know what was happening at the time. We experience heart attack differently than men do. So you can't breathe. You have like a sharp pain in your jaw that's not related to, like grinding your teeth. You have like an achiness in between your shoulder blades or just random sweating for no reason at all. Go to the fucking hospital. Because that's just your warning sign for something bigger to come.
Good
And
advice.
that's it.
Hard to follow that up.
Yeah.
Gents, get your genitals checked. We don't nearly touch our balls enough. And testicular cancers,
Well, just wash your balls. Just wash your balls.
yeah, wash them.
At least wash your balls.
If you wash them, you can tell if they're oblong. Helltown Radio on all the socials. Go over to Capital MMA, get trained. New location opening April 5th. Shouts out all the people that are making that. I'm on and all them. In Herndon. We're going to be right over in between the edge of Herndon and the Reston Town Center. So if you want to put your kids in there while you go to the mall. Do that. Give us your money. I don't know. Hug your friends. And yeah, say hi to your neighbors. I don't know. Be a generally unassholeish person. It's the better way. Suplex your week. Listen to that mic squeak.
Chinese time.
One finger in the butthole is better than two in the pee hole.
That's who you are.
Bye bye.